I was watching you to see what you were going to do, and I could see you panic in your eyes because you didn't know I was going to do that. And you just said reindeer. Merry Christmas, Nick.
Merry Christmas,
It's Christmas.
I know.
It's Christmas special.
Yeah.
It's Christmas special at the bottom of the stream. We've done a Christmas movie. You got your bells out.
Yeah.
And your wand. No, candy cane. We're doing a Christmas movie because it's Christmas.
Yeah. And it joins the fine pantheon of Christmas movies that we have done on Bottom of the Stream previously.
It's our third Christmas movie.
Yeah, but it's our third Christmas movie we've done at Christmas.
Yeah, we have done a few other...
Because I think we've done a couple...
Things like Await Further Instructions spring to mind, because that was a Christmas movie.
Oh, I was thinking of an El Camino Christmas.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Which was like the heist one.
Yeah, we did in like June.
Yeah. But it was in the desert.
It was.
Very
It's
sandy.
not a Christmas movie. I don't even know what it's called.
I think it snowed
right all about that film.
I think it snowed right at the end, didn't it?
It did. Yeah, you're right. It did.
But I see if I can remember. So
Christmas specials. Third one. This is the third one.
A Christmas Break-In.
Correct.
Which was like the girl Home Alone.
Yeah. Terrible version of Home Alone.
With Danny Glover.
Yeah.
He wasn't the girl. He was the...
I'm not going to lie to you.
janitor.
I'm surprised you've got that one over the other one. I thought you'd get the other one first.
Pottersville. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, no, you do. I didn't say you didn't. I just thought you'd go with that one first.
Because that came up on my Netflix the other day, and I was like, yeah.
Oh, did it?
I quite enjoyed. That was a nice hidden gem.
Yes, it was.
Not too taxing. Had a few
decent little
moments in it.
Doesn't seem like a year since we did that film, does it?
It sure is.
It is. I know it is. It just doesn't seem like it is.
And I enjoyed that movie.
I did as well.
That was the best of the two.
Yeah.
So
maybe we'll do a Christmas stream table at the end. Yeah. See where out of the three.
It just takes 25 years.
No, we'll just do it tonight.
Yeah.
With
top
these
three.
Three. Yeah. Top three. So
and now this.
The Holiday Calendar.
Sure.
So this week we're watching the film called The Holiday Calendar. It's from 2018. It is a PG. It runs for 1 hour and 35 minutes. And it's currently rated at 5.7 out of 10 on IMDb. That's high.
That's pretty good.
I think it's high.
Yeah.
I think I know why. I've got some thoughts on it later.
Okay.
But yeah.
Because can the answer just be because it's Christmas?
Yeah. People are much more forgiving of Christmas films. It stars a lady called Kat Graham. She plays a character called Abby Sutton. We mentioned on the wave, she's in The Night Before Christmas.
Yeah.
But she's probably most famous. Do you remember All Eyes on Me?
It's Night with a K. Sorry.
Night with a K. Yes, it is. You remember All Eyes on Me, which I think is the Tupac film?
Yeah.
She plays Jada Pinkett in that.
Oh, cool.
Which is Will Smith's wife?
Yeah. She's in Vampire Diaries.
Yeah, she is.
As well.
Yeah. I've never seen that.
I've seen a couple. My wife's watched the whole thing.
Has she?
Yeah.
No, I've never seen that. It also stars a guy called Quincy Brown, which is a great name and feels very Christmassy. He plays Josh Barton. He's also in The Night Before Christmas, and he is in a film called Dope, which came out recently. So that's probably what you most famously know him for. And then thirdly stars a guy called Ethan Peck. He plays Ty Walker. He was in Time, which I think has got Justin Timberlake in.
Yeah, I have seen that. This guy was like as generic can be.
He is.
As like
very generic. He's also in The Midnight Sky.
Rich businessman.
With, George Clooney.
Right.
Do you know who he is?
No.
He's the grandson of a very famous actor.
Gregory?
Yes. He's Gregory Peck's grandson. Generic grandson. This film's directed by Bradley Walsh.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. Not the guy from The Chase.
The British quiz host and actor.
No, unfortunately not. The guy who makes loads of Christmas films and Hallmark films and films like this. That guy.
Sure.
It's written by a lady called Amin Kaderali. She also writes a lot of this sort of stuff.
Fine. She's probably just got a template.
Yeah. Just type in your character names. It's a bit like a bot wrote this movie.
Yeah.
Generic Christmas movies. Do you have a one-word review of The Holiday Calendar?
Calendros.
Wow, you're setting your stall out early.
Maybe.
It's one word though, so well done. Where does this film start, Nick?
If you weren't sure...
Why did we both just talk like that?
You will be after the opening of this movie.
Yep.
It is Christmas.
Yep, very much so.
Because we're starting with a montage.
We do. Christmas montage.
Of Christmas.
My first note says.
Because it's a small town.
Yep.
There's people skating.
Do towns like this exist?
Yes.
Do they?
Must do.
Like properly, everybody's fully into Christmas. Every shop looks like out of a picture postcard. There's an ice rink in the middle. There's wreaths everywhere.
Very coordinated effort. from the town?
From the whole town. It's proper Christmased up. Yeah. I'm not sure.
It's like Christmas up.
They definitely don't exist in this country.
Get out.
And if they do, it's fake in this country. It's like, there's a Christmas market. It doesn't happen over it. We'll put a Christmas market on and make it look Christmassy.
But they're all from Europe.
Yeah.
The Christmas market sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe small town America is a bit like this, but I don't know.
Let us know.
It feels like one of those movie tropes that you're not sure if it's real or not.
Yeah, we meet Abby.
We do, for the first time. She's taking people's Christmas photos.
Sure.
She works in like a shop of some variety.
Yeah.
I don't catch what sort of shop it was. It's got.
I guess it's just like
they're never in the shop.
No, this is the only time. It's kind of like a I'm guessing it's kind of not department store, sort of general store type place.
Yeah, because she was upstairs in like this studio where she's taking family Christmas photos.
Yeah, it also turns out that the opening montage was slightly misleading.
Okay.
Because it's not even December yet.
No, it's not. That's
December's
true.
tomorrow.
Yes, it's
man.
November the 30th right now.
Yeah.
And then a guy walks in and sits in a photo where she's not really generic. She's not really looking. She's bored of taking all these pictures. And this is Josh. We meet Josh for the first time. I've written brother, maybe, ? But it turns out...
Me too.
Not brother. Old friend. Best friend. Good old friend zone Josh.
Yeah.
So they have a bit of... It appears he's been away. They've not seen each other for a while.
He's been travelling.
Yeah, they've not seen each other for a while. And this is their like reunion.
He's back for Christmas.
Best mates. Abby goes home. She goes to see some family. It's not her house. It's family house, isn't it?
I don't know whose house it was.
I think it was mum and dad's.
Was it her sister's or her mum and dad's?
I think it was her mum and dad. And mum and dad are like curiously absent in this film. Her sister's in it quite a lot, and her granddad's in it quite a lot, but her parents are barely in it.
They bookend it.
Yeah,
They're at the start and the end. Yeah.
But the rest of her family are in it. So she goes to mum and dad's house. Sister's there, niece is there, granddad's there. For some reason, they're having a Christmas event on November the 30th.
Yeah.
But that's just what's happening. That town had got fully involved in Christmas.
Oh,
in
like
November.
I say, so coordinated.
But in November.
Yeah.
And it was the last day of November, and that looked like
they're having a dinner to celebrate Christmas month starts tomorrow.
Yeah, basically. Because this film just revolves around an advent calendar, so they need to start it here.
Josh rocks up, doesn't he? Grandpops.
Yeah.
Gramps. He's even got his Christmas waistcoat on.
Yeah, he has.
For the big November 30.
Yeah. Her parents tell her that they don't like her being a photographer. They're against her choice of job.
I thought this was really weird because all through this movie you're supposed to one of the reasons you're supposed to root for Abby is that her parents don't see her talent.
Yeah.
And they don't think being a photographer is like a
valid career choice.
A valid career choice or something that you can be successful or make money out of. But it is literally said in one line here and then one right at the end.
Yeah.
And there's no building on it. And she doesn't seem that bothered about it.
She couldn't care less.
But that's these films all along, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, well, that's her motivation. It's probably...
It's one line.
30 seconds of this movie.
It's one line from two people who are barely in the film.
End of the film.
And everybody else in the film is well into her. Into what she does. But just her parents aren't. Bullshit.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Josh turns up. He's greeted much more warmly by her family.
Oh my God, everyone loves him.
Everybody absolutely adores this guy. He's like king of Christmas.
Where's his own family?
Yeah.
Never addressed.
Appear to have one. And he reveals to the family that he is now staying. He's done with travelling. He's going to settle down in this small town. He's coming back. Abby's very happy to hear this. Her family are very happy to hear this. And then she goes and visits her white old granddad.
Yeah.
Because this guy just sits in a chair in the room on his own.
Also,
all the way through this film.
Clearly not that old.
No, he's not that old.
He's an absolute
I did mean to look it up.
Stone cold dude.
I did mean to look up how old he is.
See the size of his earring he's rocking.
He's he's proper cool granddad.
Like playing this like he's a doddery old 80-year-old and he's clearly sort of late 50s, 60s. Like I say, absolute dude.
So the granddad's played by Ron Cephas Jones. He was born on the 8th of January 1957. So he's the same age as my mum, which makes him 64. So
64 now.
This film's 3 years old.
Okay, so he was
and it would
60.
have been filmed before, so 60 out a day. Abby's what, 20 something?
Yeah,
maybe even later. Maybe even older than that. He's actually in Venom. He's been in quite a few stuff. He's in Luke Cage. He's in This Is Us. Literally quite a lot of stuff. You'd recognise him. He's got a very recognisable face, and he's like you say, he's a cool as fuck. They just put him in a Christmas waistcoat, and make him look old.
I liked him in this movie.
Yeah,
there's no way this guy looks. He was like I say, he was playing this guy like he was this doddery old.
At least 80.
Like, no, No, not buying it.
I was like, he's not even that much older than her. He's probably like 30 years older than her. It was funny. It was funny. And anyway, it appears that he's recently lost his wife, or lost Abby's grandmother, because he does say at this point that this is his first Christmas without her.
Yes, but later in the movie, he says, "This
I really miss her at this time of year."
Yeah.
I'm glad you spotted that, because I've written it down. He's like, this is the worst time of year. I really miss her at this time of year. But at this point, he's only just lost her. This is his first Christmas without her. So,
and it definitely only takes place over one Christmas.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, we know that. We know what happens every day. It's the doors are opening. So, and he gives her an enormous advent calendar.
Oh, this like wooden thing.
I've never seen an advent calendar like this before. And then today at work, somebody had a big wooden advent calendar.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, why is this here now on the 17th of December? And why have I never seen a wooden advent calendar until this week?
The day after
I've watched this movie. And it was wooden like a Christmas tree. And behind every door, there was little baubles that you hang on this Christmas tree. Okay, it's really cool.
Yeah.
But nobody knows who it was. It just appeared on somebody's desk.
Wow.
It was a magic advent calendar. I'm telling you.
Man, that is weird.
It's so weird.
So this
is... I opened today's door and there was a podcast inside. There wasn't.
This is like a snowy house. It's like an alpine cottage, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, with like 25 doors.
Yeah.
Which is also incorrect, because advent calendars only have 24 doors.
That's right.
But this one didn't.
Anyone that has a big door for Christmas Day is a wrong calendar.
It is, because that's the end of Advent. The Christmas Eve is the end of Advent. Abby and Josh leave after a while. She takes this enormous Advent calendar with her, because he's given it to her as a family heirloom.
Yeah.
And Abby and Josh leave, and she takes him to see an empty shop.
Yeah. This made me laugh as well. I don't want much from these movies.
No.
But please, can we make a bit of effort? Because we now get a scene where Abby's like, yeah, come back to my place. Oh, we just need to drive past something first. And she shows him this empty shop.
In a town that they've both lived in their whole lives.
Yeah. And it's for rent.
Yeah.
And she says, oh, my dream would be to have that place, and it could be a studio and a gallery and a cafe.
Create a studio for the area. That's what she wants. So we now know the end of this film.
And she says, I just can't afford it.
Yeah.
They only wants a year's rent.
Yeah. Up front. Seems a lot.
Unreasonable. But, tough times and all that. But again, another thread through this is that she's this penniless, hard-working, but hasn't got 2 pennies to rub together.
Yeah.
And then we go straight to her place.
Yes.
Which is like this
beautiful loft apartment. Amazing place.
It's the best.
Or like open plan.
It's the nicest property in this whole movie.
It is, by a long shot. I'd live there. Happily live there.
It's well plush.
Live very happy life for there.
All I'm saying is, maybe if she reassessed where her finances are going, she could make some adjustments.
How is she affording this on a photographer in a general store's wage?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place.
I had questions.
It is a beautiful place. But she says to Josh, I'm considering getting an office job. And he's like, no, I don't like the sound of that. You're more creative than that. You're a better person than office people.
Yeah.
Spit on those office people. And I've written it. They go back to her apartment. It's incredible. And she's got some awesome photos on the wall.
Yeah, of her arty stuff.
She's taken some arty black and white photos, which were really nice. Yeah. I really like the girl on the pogo stick picture. I thought that was great.
Yes, there was a lot of sort of shadow work, wasn't there? And
you could see the girl on the pogo stick, but she wasn't like the main centre of the film, the photo, but the shadow was.
Yeah.
I really liked that. But she says she's not ready to show them yet. I mean, it doesn't take her long to get ready, because by the end of the film she's showing them. But
they're everywhere, yeah.
But she's not ready to show them. She's not ready for that. And then she shows Josh the calendar. She says, look what my granddad's given me. And it's broken. None of the doors will open. They're all jammed shut. So she's like, oh, it's probably a bit of junk. And then they go out for dinner. She goes home. She finds a nice spot for the calendar to live in.
Yeah, she bungs it on the coffee table.
Just on the coffee table in the middle of the room. And then she goes to bed. And in the night, the Christmas magic happens.
Yeah.
Because the advent calendar lights up.
It does. It's all glowy.
And door number 1 pops open by itself.
Yeah. You don't even get the fun of opening the door yourself.
You don't. You don't, and you just get these little bits of toy that you've got enough. What are you going to do with them?
They're just, don't be like that. They're just nice ornaments.
I want some chocolate now.
I bought you a chocolate advent calendar.
I've eaten it every day. I love my chocolate advent calendar. Thank you so much. Yeah, December the 1st lights up. It's the next morning. She gets up. It comes up on the screen, December 1.
Day one.
Did it say day one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit stupid, isn't it?
Yeah, it's actually thinking about it.
Why
It is.
Why don't it just give you the date rather than?
Yeah, because that's how advent calendars work.
Yeah. Anyway. And she spots that now one of the doors is open after thinking that it was broken.
Yep.
And inside she finds some little boots, a toy of some little boots.
We'd seen sort of I think it was when they came into the flat the night before, she'd sort of kicked hers off and they're held together by gaffer tape.
I hadn't noticed that.
Right.
It is mentioned in the film, but I hadn't noticed.
I forgot to tell you.
Okay.
I sat down to watch this.
Yeah.
With my wife. She'd already seen it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. So did you have to watch it alone, or did she watch it again?
No, she watched it again.
Did she really?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So she'd watched it and forgotten that she'd watched it.
No, she
was fully aware.
I said, "This is what I've got to watch." She's like, "Yeah, I've seen that straight away."
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Did she like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course she did.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's some little boots inside the first door. So she's, oh, that's nice. Little picture.
They're like Santa's boots, aren't they?
Yeah. Next morning, it's December the 1st, so Christmas is fully engaged now. There's even a grotto.
Yeah.
So
they've moved out the general store.
Moved out of the general store. They've got a Santa. This guy apparently has played Santa 15 times in 15 films.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So once you've got that look, you work for life.
Yeah,
so that look. So he did look like Santa. But yeah, she's taking pictures of kids.
Well, yeah, but her boss is playing the Nutcracker. So some schlebs are just manning the general store.
Yeah, this does have a shot.
Because now we've got this whole grotto set up outside.
Yeah. So basically, you pay for your kid to go and sit on Santa's knee, and you get a photo of them together.
Yeah, so Abby's dressed as an elf / photographer.
But she's running around all over the place because there's only the two of them there. There's only Santa, the boss man, and Abby.
Yeah.
So she's got to take these pictures, print these pictures, wrangle all these kids.
Bring the kids up to Santa.
So there's too much going on. So she calls Josh. She says, "Josh, you're sitting at home being lazy, doing nothing. Come and help me out." So Josh turns up with his mate, who I think was called Fernando.
Correct.
Because why not? And they come to help. They're both also dressed as elves.
Yeah.
And their boss just gives them a lunch. Gives them a job straight away.
Yeah.
And that's it. He employs them, and that's their job now for
That's the team, yeah.
That's the team. Josh and Abby go for lunch, and Josh has brought her a gift back from his travels.
Yeah.
And what is the gift?
Boots.
Nick? Boots. Of course it is. So instantly Abby's like, maybe my advent calendar's magic.
Yeah.
It's like straight away.
Puts these boots on, dumps the old ones.
Puts them straight in the bin.
Yeah.
Job done. New boots. She's well happy. She's made up. A bit annoyed she hasn't got Josh anything, but then we go to day 2. And day 2, when she gets up in the morning, the door's popped open again. And this time there's a little Christmas tree inside.
There is.
And she literally goes to Josh that morning and says, "Josh, you got me boots yesterday," and there was boots in the advent calendar.
Yeah.
It's weird, right?
I think it might be magic.
On day 1, she's questioning if this advent calendar's
magic.
She's questioning on day 1 if this calendar's magic. And Josh basically says, "Don't be ridiculous. I bought you those boots months ago.
Yeah.
I was in Italy or something."
Fashioned them himself.
He did.
No, he doesn't know that. Is it because he's an elf?
Oh, I see.
So when they're not being Christmas elves, they make shoes, don't they?
They do, yeah, it's true.
If you are born as an elf, you either go down like the Christmas path or the shoe
path.
Yeah.
Or you go down that creepy Danish TV show I watched recently where you just live in the woods and get electrocuted. Fernando has brought them all tickets to see A Christmas Story.
Yeah,
in cinema,
like a week's time.
Cinema in a week's time. And he's really excited because they were going to dress up as characters from it. And so the 3 of them are going on a 3-way friend date.
Have you ever seen A Christmas Story?
No.
Now, I have a bit of a theory. I've never seen it either. I see it referenced a lot in... I think it's a much bigger movie and tradition in the States than it is over here.
Okay. I don't think I'd even ever heard of it.
So I see it referenced in other Christmas movies and, you know...
A bit like It's a Wonderful Life. It's like that sort of...
Yes, and then occasionally you see things like, oh, this channel in the States is playing A Christmas Story for 24 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's like cult following.
Yeah, and I just don't think that is one that's ever hit over here, to be honest.
I don't think it is. It's from 1983.
Yeah.
7.9 out of 10 on IMDb.
Okay.
It's decently rated for a Christmas film. Directed by the same guy who directed Porky's, which was a great film back in the day. Where did we get to? Oh, Fernando's brought them tickets to see A Christmas Story at the cinema.
Yeah.
They were going on a 3-way friend date later in the month. That night, as Abby is driving home, she is turning this corner in her car, and a Christmas tree falls off her car that's going in the opposite direction, and she runs over it. She runs over a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
He gets out. He apologises to her. They have a bit of flirty banter.
Yeah.
This guy. And it's basically
a bit punny, isn't
flirty,
it?
punny.
And he goes, "Oh, do you know what I've done?" She's like, "What?" He says, "I bought this Christmas tree. I only tied it on with twine." And the guy at the Christmas tree shop said, "Don't use twine. It's not strong enough." And that's what's happened.
He's used twine.
Yeah.
Silly idiot. You don't tie a Christmas tree to the roof of your car with twine, do you?
No.
Would you tie a Christmas tree to the roof of your car? It's going to scratch up the roof of your car, surely.
Yeah, I'd have thought so.
It's dangerous. It wasn't like in one of those protective bags that you get where they throw them through that
No,
tube.
he Griswolded it to the top of his car.
Griswolded it. Because they usually throw them through a tube and it gets in a net.
Yeah,
which
sure.
I find amazing. I've seen somebody jump through one of them once. It was amazing. But he hadn't done that. It was just like...
That would be inconvenient for this plot.
It would.
But, fortunately, maybe every photographer has this in the boot of their car.
Yeah.
Abby says, "I got you covered." Pops open the trunk. Bungee ropes. Here you go.
Loads of them as well.
Yeah.
Like 5 or 6 of them.
Absolute stash.
Yeah. So he reties his tree wasn't that damaged.
Yeah.
Even though it got run over by Abby's car.
Like, I'll give you
survived.
a summation of the quality of jokes in this movie. Because she says, "There's a reason that twine jumping never took off."
Yeah. I still don't really get it now.
What? Yet bungee jumping did.
Oh, I get it now. I did not. Jane, I thought it was something to do with skipping.
Oh, right, okay.
I'm an idiot.
So, yeah, she gives him these cords.
Yeah.
Presumably he reattaches the now half run over Christmas tree.
Yeah.
He's really going to disappoint his family.
It didn't seem that badly damaged.
No, not really.
So, and they leave. They leave each other. And we go to day 3. So she gets up that morning. The door's popped open again.
Yeah.
And she gets up and it's a nutcracker. A little nutcracker dude.
Yeah.
Which are little creepy soldier men, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
So she goes home. She goes to meet her granddad.
Yeah, they're going for a coffee before work.
Because 2 things have happened now, so she's really convinced this calendar's magic.
And this might be my favourite bit of the film, I think. We'll maybe get to the end. This sticks out for me. They sit down on a bench to have this coffee, and 2 older ladies walk by, and they're like, "Ooh," at Gramps. Because I tell you, he's a player.
He's a player. He's a stud muffin.
Stud
muffin. Where have I just come
you pulled that
I don't know. It's true, though. And she asks him about the calendar. She doesn't ask him if it's magic at this point. She's just trying to get some backstory on it.
He starts waffling about how he met his wife.
Yeah, he does. So he talks about how he met his wife. Basically, she'd brought it in France.
Yeah.
Just before they met. They met at the Louvre, apparently. She dropped a book at his feet and he picked it up, and that's how they met. And he says, "This is the time of the year I miss her the most." And I've written, "But earlier you said that this was your first Christmas without her." It really frustrated me. I'm like, that's bad writing.
Yeah, it is.
It's 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's bad writing.
Also, as well as the theme I talked about earlier, where Abby is apparently penniless and her parents don't like her career choice, but then it's never really touched on again.
Yeah.
Similarly to that, he mentions here, and I think it's mentioned once more later on, it's Gramps both times, he says, "Oh, you remind me a lot of her.
Yeah.
She didn't like Christmas either."
Yeah.
And she didn't get into the spirit of things. Yet we never see Abby not in the spirit of it.
No, she never looks like she's not enjoying Christmas.
No. And it's not, even though the Gramps tells us twice that's her character trait.
Yeah.
It isn't a character trait.
That. She never displays that character trait. Because
it's just laziness.
It's
sloppy,
it is.
Isn't it?
That is sloppy, because how has nobody spotted that? How has nobody gone, hold on a minute? The guy who's saying it should have gone, hold on a minute. I said a minute ago, this was my first Christmas without her. It's an easy mistake to fix.
Yeah.
But it is a mistake.
Yeah.
And they also point out at one point during the film that they've missed out Abby's sister for this family heirloom. It's gone to the second child because Abby's sister's older. But I thought that was weird as well, because the family heirloom should surely go to the oldest. But who knows?
No, it's that oldest child's okay. She's set
She's done herself. She's done all right for herself.
The youngest child who we still see as a child.
She needs a advent calendar in her life,
even though she's 35.
Yeah, and the granddad's only 60.
Yeah.
Then she's photographing a kids' Christmas show. What did they do? Nativity. It's not
Pageant.
a nativity. Pageant. It's not a nativity. It was a pageant. So she's there. She's photographing it because her niece is in it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Abby's sister's daughter's in there. And Abby, after the show's finished, they're all chatting in the foyer, and Abby spots the tree guy from earlier.
Yeah, from now on in my notes, he's just Dilf.
Dilf.
Because we find out he's got a daughter.
He has a daughter in the school who was also in the show that Abby's just photographed. And when the daughter comes running up to her dad, what is she dressed as?
Nutcracker.
She's dressed as a nutcracker.
Bit-
Things are falling into place.
It's a bit more tenuous than the first two, but okay.
Considering her boss has been dressed as it all the way through.
Yeah.
But hey-ho. Turns out this guy is the most eligible bachelor in the school.
That's actually what her sister tells her.
Yeah, that's the actual line from the film. And her granddad gives her a knowing nod as she's talking to him. He's like, but he doesn't do it at her. He does it at us.
Yeah.
He nods at the camera as if to say,
It's like,
what my granddaughter's up to.
yeah, she's going to take that.
I've written he gives a knowing nod to nobody. So that night, we go back to her apartment. Josh is around. She calls Josh to come round. She tells him the calendar's probably haunted.
Yeah, and then she explains the movie to date.
Yeah.
Which happens more than once in this film.
Yes.
And again, I guess that is just part of the template, isn't it? It's that, I've not
Let's
looked
do a
up.
recap.
I've not looked up for 10 minutes because I've been wrapping my presents or basting my turkey. So
we
you
need
get
a bit
the
of a
recap of which is exactly what these are designed to do, isn't it?
He's not buying it though. She talks him all the way through. There's only been 3 days.
And he was there for
two
the
of
boots bit.
the boots bit, and he was the one who brought the boots.
Yeah.
So he's not buying it. He's like, nah, don't be silly. And then she tells him about Ty, and Ty is the guy who couldn't tie his tree to the car.
Yeah, the
He's
dilf.
called Ty, the dilf. Yeah, she tells him about him, and you can see his jealous eyes. Josh's jealous eyes come out. He's got very jealous eyes. Because they're supposed to be best mates, but Josh wants more than that.
Yeah.
Day 4, they were going to stay up because they were talking about this calendar, and he's like, it's nearly midnight. We'll stay up. We'll wait for the door to pop open, and we'll see what comes out. But they didn't. They wake up. They'd forgotten to stay up, or they'd fallen asleep, and they wake up on the couch all cozied up to each other.
Yeah.
And what's in the door today is a candy cane.
Sure is.
And we cut straight from there to the grotto, back at work.
Which is flanked by 2 rows of huge
enormous candy canes. And the very first line in this scene is Abby goes, "Oh, it's getting a bit windy." So we're like, "Oh, I wonder what's going to happen here."
Some fucking little shit licker comes and kicks Santa in the shin.
I was not expecting that. Yes, he does. Some little kid comes up and he's like the little posh kid at Christmas. He doesn't want to talk to Santa. He kicks Santa in the shin. Santa stumbles into Josh. Josh falls into the candy canes, which causes a domino effect, which causes Abby to get crushed under some candy canes.
She does.
They
look really light.
Yeah, they're like plastic.
I'm not sure. Considering she said it was windy, I'm not sure how they didn't blow away.
I don't know why the windiness didn't really matter either. It didn't. So it was really windy. I thought, they were all going to blow over, but they didn't. They got knocked over by Josh. Josh insists that Abby goes to hospital.
Yeah, it doesn't offer a lift.
No, get yourself off. I'll take some more pictures. You clear off to hospital. So, and it turns out she sprained her wrist.
Yeah, which was the only part of her not pinned down by a giant candy cane. But
hey ho,
happens.
This is what happens,
isn't it?
And guess who the doctor is?
Oh, it's Miss Dr. Dilf.
Does Dilf stand for doctor? I'd like. No, maybe.
It's a double Dilf. Dr. Dad.
Dr. Dad. Dr. Ty is the doctor, obviously. He straps her wrist up, tells her, yeah, you've sprained your wrist. And they arrange to go on a date.
Well, no. He says, here's your prescription.
Yeah.
Take 2 of these. And here's my number.
Take one of these.
Yeah, take one of these. He should have said that.
He should have definitely said that. So they arranged to go on a date.
That night, indeed.
That night, indeed. She goes back and tells Josh, she's like, I'm glad you sent me to the hospital. I've got myself a date.
Yeah.
So he's like, and he suddenly realises, I'm in the friend zone here. I think it just occurred to him, and Fernando even says it to him. And he's like, it's like he hadn't noticed that he wasn't that he was in the friend zone.
Yeah, exactly.
And he wanted to get further out of it. And there's a look on his face. He looks devastated. Sandra goes, Sandra? Who's fuck's Sandra?
I have no idea.
Well, I don't know who that is, but Abby goes home.
Santa on a Friday?
Could be. Abby goes home, she gets changed, she gets into her date clothes.
Getting ready montage.
You get a getting ready montage. Then she heads back to the grotto because for some reason she's agreed to meet Ty there. Josh is still at work.
Yeah.
And Santa says to her, oh, you look beautiful, Abby. And then Josh agrees. He's like, yeah, you do.
Josh tells her she looks perfect.
Perfect.
And it totally goes over her head.
Yeah. And then Ty comes to pick her up, and he just takes her for coffee.
Hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate. It's Christmas, isn't it? And she even says to him, "Well, this is not what I was expecting."
Yeah.
I think she was like, she wanted some dinner, didn't she? She wanted some scram.
Wow, you thought that? I thought she wanted to go out on the piss.
Fair enough. Dates goes on, generic dates.
Honked up on eggnog.
That'd be you next week. What's your thoughts on eggnog? I don't know if I've ever tried it.
Have you ever had? I think the closest thing we have is Advocaat.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, but I don't think I've ever tried.
Don't mind a snowball.
What's a snowball?
That's like Advocaat and some booze, isn't it? I don't know. My father-in-law makes them.
Oh.
That's quite nice, but you can't have much of it.
No, it's too sweet.
Yeah, it's basically just like a milky alcohol.
Is it egg?
It? Yeah, it's dairy, isn't it?
Is it egg though?
I believe so.
It's like alcoholic egg.
Yeah, it's egg and nog.
What's nog?
That's the alcohol.
It's something I've never thought of. Is it alcoholic egg? That sounds horrible.
Yeah, milk and a bit of cinnamon on top and
milk and egg and cinnamon and alcohol.
A bit of booze.
No,
booze optional.
It doesn't sound like the sort of thing I'd be into. Not gonna lie. It's like the basis of a cake, but with alcohol instead of flour. They kiss at the end of this date, the two of them.
Just as Josh walks around the corner.
Yeah, he's just walking home from somewhere, and he walks around.
Absolutely unbelievable that would happen.
It is, and he gets to see all of this going on, and his jealous eyes come out.
Yeah,
he tells a story with those eyes.
He's like, "I'm the hot chocolate you should be with."
His hair is atrocious, though. His hair, he's got like a weird centre parting in his hair. It's horrible. Day 5. She doesn't check the calendar.
No, she's like, right,
she's scared
I'm going to do an experiment.
Yeah, I'm not going to look at it. But we get to see what's in there.
Sure.
Ice skates.
Yeah.
In the very
this
next
is a very fast day.
Yes, this is the days do speed up slightly.
Well, yeah, because I was writing my notes and I was like, we're not going to do all 25, are we? I'm going to write a lot of notes.
Yeah, I was thinking exactly the same thing. So this is day 5 now. Ice skates come out of the calendar. She's taking pictures of ice skaters in the park. It's a day off.
Yeah.
I think it's a Sunday. She's taking pictures of ice skaters in the park. She meets up with Josh. He comes and takes some pictures as well. He's also a photographer.
Oh, he's into it. He does say that right at the start.
He does. And she says, look, I went on a nice date last night with Ty. I'm seeing him again tonight.
Yeah.
We're going on date number 2.
Yeah.
We don't see any of date number 2.
We do, briefly.
Oh, do we?
Very briefly.
Oh,
it's night time and they're ice skating.
Oh, yes, you're right, they do.
And that's it.
The calendar got that day spot on.
Yeah.
Day 6, reindeer.
I didn't get this.
Nor me, because...
She goes, oh, it's a horse.
Yeah. It's not.
It's clearly a reindeer.
It's definitely.
And then we just cut to them.
I've never seen a horse with antlers.
Oh, yeah, and then we just cut to them in a horse-drawn carriage.
Why wasn't it a horse? Why was it a reindeer in the calendar?
Yeah, exactly.
Why wasn't it not a horse in the calendar?
Yeah. Christmas, the traditional Christmas horse could have been in the in the calendar.
But so there's no reindeers in this film.
No,
but there is a reindeer.
And you're reaching.
So your calendar thing falls apart.
It's just an animal with 4 legs that that pulls.
They go on another. They basically go on another date on a horse-drawn carriage. Yeah. That's day 6. Day 9. So we've skipped 2.
Yep.
Some carolers come out. They're on another date. There's some carolers outside.
Yeah.
Done. Day 9 done.
We're
day 14
through this now.
Day 14. We're skipping 4 days. It's a wreath, a Christmas wreath.
He buys her one.
Done. She does meet her granddad that day, and she tells her granddad about Ty.
Oh, she recaps the movie again to him. Yeah. So far with an update.
But she also says he's been a little bit much.
A bit overwhelming.
We've been on a date every night since we met.
And suddenly...
And this wreath he's brought her, by the way, is built for a department store. It's
yeah.
It wouldn't fit in this room.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
It would save... You could get 4 people in it as a lifesaver.
Yeah, easily. It was enormous. It was ridiculous. It was exactly the same as the one that came out of the calendar as well. It looked exactly the same.
And because she was actually a bit... Well, I got the impression that
I'll
give a bit of credit of good acting that she was pissed off. She
just took it in the house. She's like, "What the fuck am I going to do with this?" So she says to her granddad, "Look, it's been a bit overwhelming. We've been on all these dates, but I feel like I'm not getting to know him."
Yes, and suddenly, for a very brief period in this movie, there's now an undercurrent of this guy's now a creep.
Yeah, which he never has been.
Not so far.
No. Just because she finds him a little bit overwhelming.
Chintz. Yeah. And now,
find him a little bit overwhelming. He's suddenly a creep.
And we'll get to the actually it might be later this day when it really becomes apparent that this guy actually might be a serial killer.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Which is obviously it's quickly forgotten, but
Yeah.
we'll get to that.
It's maybe even implied at one point. This is the day they're supposed to be going to see the Christmas Story
With Josh and
with
Fernando.
Josh and Fernando, but she has forgotten. And she says to Josh and Fernando, remind her.
Yeah,
And she's
we've
like,
got the tickets.
I've got a date. Can't go. I've got the 8th date in a row. And she says, but look, the date's early.
Yeah, so the date's at 3. The movie's at
8 or
6
whatever
or
it
7.
was.
Yeah, whatever.
So it's like, I'll meet you after the date. We'll go to the film. Job done. Everybody's happy. Ty takes her to work in a soup kitchen.
He doesn't like to brag about his charity work.
This is the point where I'm like, yeah, this guy's weird. I don't like him. So he takes her to work in a soup kitchen for the day because that's a nice date. And the guys are standing outside the cinema at this point waiting for her. She's not turned up. What she's decided to do, she knows she's late. She's looking at the time all the time. She knows she's not going to make it. And then realises later on that she's not going to make it.
Even though she obviously knows that.
You see her look at her watch like 3 times.
Yeah. So she doesn't spend long helping out in the kitchen.
She doesn't spend any time.
She just gets out there and starts taking photos of these dudes.
Yeah, the homeless people.
Yeah. She gets talking to 2 homeless guys.
Yeah.
Who I must say are the most put together, well spoken. And I'm not mean to cast aspersions here.
They didn't look like homeless
well
guys.
dressed, well groomed.
Yeah.
Homeless people.
Yes.
It's like a couple of businessmen.
They didn't look like homeless people. You're right. And they say to her, "Are you with that dude in there?" Because he's
bought another one.
He comes in here all the time.
Yeah.
With various women.
And it's so out of tone with the rest of this movie.
It really is. And they make out like he's a proper creep.
Yeah.
Like literally warning her off.
She said, "Don't trust that guy.
Don't go with that." And they don't know him. They just know that they've seen him turn up here a few times with different women.
Yeah.
And then even when she leaves, she gives them a hug and everything at the end, and they're like, "Stay away from this guy because he might be a killer." They're definitely implying that
like someone else has directed this scene.
Yeah, they're definitely implying that he's killed people before. Aren't they though?
That was interesting. We both thought it. I think we're taking it to the extreme, but
it's just like they almost dragged her out of there. It was like, come with us, live on the streets with us for a bit. It's fine. She gets to the movie.
Missed it.
Ty takes her there.
Yeah.
She's like, we got to get to this movie. It's sold out.
Yeah.
So the movie's not started, but she can't get in because there's no tickets left.
They've got a ticket. I took it the other way. They got a ticket, but because it started, no latecomers.
Oh no, I took it as like she got there, but she hadn't got a ticket. But maybe.
Oh no, but actually, this could be another error because Josh says that's when Fernando comes in. Josh says that's Abby's seat.
Yes, he does. You're right.
So I was just like, oh, he's
So
got the tickets. And Josh and Fernando earlier in the movie said, I've booked the tickets.
Yeah, he did. You're right. So why didn't Josh just go outside and give her a ticket?
Yeah, because later on she says, oh, it's sold out. I can't get in.
Yeah, I'm outside. I can't get in. It's sold out.
There's a lot of ticket confusion here, is what we're saying.
There is. Unless Josh wasn't checking his phone. He's in the cinema. He probably shouldn't be.
True.
It's one of my bugbears. So instead of going into the cinema with her friend, she takes Ty back to her apartment.
He's like, what the fuck you got an advent calendar there for, you absolute geek?
Yeah, he does. He doesn't appreciate the advent calendar in the slightest. He likes her photos that are on the wall.
Yeah, he says this is a really cool apartment.
And she's like, oh, this is a family heirloom. It's my family heirloom advent calendar. And he's like, what, you fucking weirdo? She hasn't checked today's door again. But so when she does, is the 3 wise men come out?
Yeah.
So she talks again, recaps the calendar.
movie.
She talks him through the calendar and basically says to him, look, it's predicting my future. It's telling me everything that's going on.
And he's like, well, what are the 3 wise men about? And she says, well, I spoke to 2 at the homeless shelter.
Yeah. He's like,
and actually, they said you're a creep and I shouldn't trust you.
So let's split up.
Yeah.
It's how this conversation goes. Because he mocks her a bit. He's like, fucking predicting advent calendar. What are you talking about? Which she takes great exception to, even though Josh had done the same thing earlier.
She says, you're not genuine. I want some space.
How many girls have you taken to the shelter is how she starts the conversation. Yeah. How many girls have you taken there? And she says to him, look, we don't know anything about each other. It's done. We're done. Let's break up. She breaks up with him.
Yeah.
He says, Merry Christmas, and just walks out. And then it's day 16, so we skipped another day. She refuses to look in the door again. She goes to see Josh. Josh is at work. She tells him they've broken up. And Josh says, do you want me to beat him up? It was a bit weird. And then she says, look, I'm sorry I wasn't cool. Missing the film wasn't cool. I apologise. She apologises to him. And they make up, basically. They become
Yeah.
friends again. He doesn't hold a grudge. Then the mayor turns up.
Yeah, it's a big event.
Yes.
So, I mean, Christmas has been in full swing for 16 days.
Yeah.
But it's only now that the mayor is coming to turn on the Christmas tree lights.
Yes. We're having the mayor debate again. I don't
Mayor.
think we've done it before, haven't we? They do call him mayor in this film, which is weird because it's an American film and mayor's the American pronunciation. I don't think anybody knows.
Maybe you get to choose if you become a mayor.
Maybe you get to decide what you want to do.
Decree how the pronunciation will
Maybe.
be.
But they do say mayor in this film, I wrote.
Yeah, they do. You're right.
And she's turned up to turn the Christmas lights on in this Christmas town that's having Christmas.
Just the Christmas tree lights.
That's Christmas tree lights. But why is that not already on?
Yeah, it's been 16 days.
It's the 16th of December now. We know the decorations have been up since the end of November at least.
Abby's boss says, I am going to introduce you to the mayor.
He says the person we've hired to take photos of the mayor turning on the Christmas lights hasn't turned up.
Yeah.
So will you, the photographer that works for me
and has been doing all
the way through this film, come and take some pictures of the mayor? That's 3 photographers at least that work in this town. She's like, yeah, that's the opportunity of a lifetime.
It's my big break.
Because the mayor's the president of America, apparently. I don't know. She treated it like she was like royalty.
Yeah.
So she goes and she takes some photos. And the mayor's like, oh, I really like your style. Can I have some photos for my office?
Yeah, I need my office redecorating. Yeah. I'll be in touch.
Yeah. So that's like Abby's big break.
Sure.
She's like, her whole future's going to change from this point.
Yeah, political photos.
Unfortunately, Josh has accidentally deleted all the photos.
Yeah, was it... No, I was confused. Was it the mayor photos he deleted, or was it a day's worth of Santa and kid photos?
No, it was the mayor photos.
Right, okay. He did it quick then. In that
Because she'd finished. She'd gone back because they'd got a Mac.
Yeah.
So she'd gone back to sort it out. The boss had come over and said, the mayor wants to meet you. So she said to Josh, will you look after this camera with all these pictures on? I'll go and meet the mayor. Then when she gets back, he's like, oh, sorry, I got distracted by a family and I've accidentally deleted all the pictures.
Yeah.
Not like I've dropped the memory card in the snow or something. That would have made more sense. I wasn't sure if he'd done it maliciously at this point because he wasn't in a good place with her.
No, true.
But I don't know.
No, that's not the character.
No, it's not. But I thought it might be where we were heading. But we weren't.
She takes the rap.
She takes the rap for it and she gets fired.
Yeah.
The boss fires her.
And then Josh replaces her.
Yeah, he gives Josh a job.
Absolute kicking her down below.
Yeah. Her and Josh then have this...
It was very rapid, this bit. It was like, we have got to absolutely snow plough through this narrative here to move the movie into its third act.
I've written down here. Abby and Josh have a bullshit argument because she's mad but knows she shouldn't be mad. He's mad at her because she knows that she shouldn't be mad. That's what they were arguing about. And they end up... Their friendship goes out the window, basically.
Yeah, she blames the calendar.
She does. She goes home. She packs the calendar up into a bag. She goes to throw it in a skip.
Yeah.
But she can't.
Puts it in a car.
So she puts it in a car boot instead. But she can't throw it away because it's family heirloom, I guess. So she just hides it in her car boot. Day 17. Obviously, we've got a calendar. We don't know what's behind the door anymore. She starts looking for jobs.
Yeah.
She gives up, so she decides to have a sofa day.
Yeah, day 18, she just mongs on the sofa.
Watching Netflix.
Yeah, nice.
We get to see some Netflix films pop up on the screen. Day 19, her sister shows up. She's like, what the fuck are you doing? Get out of bed.
Yeah, she gives her a pep talk.
Sort your life out. No matter how bad life is, your niece worships you. And she shows you a video of her niece playing with her camera.
Yeah.
She's like, and that perks Abby up. And then by day 20, she's fine. She goes up, she gets out of bed.
She gets her mojo back.
Tidies up the house.
So she's editing the pictures from the pageant.
Yes. She photoshopped some nice pictures of them. That's that day done. Day 20, we're flying through these last few days. Day 21, she finds out that the empty shopper unit that she's got her eye on has already been rented out.
The for rent sale is removed from the window.
It is. Her sister's organised a charity auction at the school.
Yeah.
Her sister's something to do with the school? She's like a governor or something.
Yeah.
And she's like so important, her sister, that she says, assistant, go and get Abby's stuff out of her car. And the assistant goes
got a minion.
She's got a minion. Because Abby's showing, she's going to auction some of her photos off.
Correct.
Photos that she's not ready to show yet.
Yeah. So one of the prizes is for Abby to do a photo shoot.
But Abby didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Their sister had put that in there.
And then just
all of the rest of
all of her photos are up for sale as well.
Basically. She meets up with Josh. Josh tells her that he's quit his job. He's like, I didn't want to do that. I couldn't take the fall for you.
She also manages to recover the lost.
She recovers
photos.
some of the lost mare pictures. She goes back to meet up with her boss, who's at the grotto.
Yeah.
His wife's now taking the pictures, and she's not very good at it.
Another photographer in the town. He agrees to send the pictures to the mayor.
Yeah, the lens cap's on when the wife's taking the pictures. I don't think she's very good at it. The kids are running wild. Everybody's gone back. But she says, I don't want my job back.
No.
She turns him down.
Moving on.
So he offers it her back. She says, no, I don't want it. Day 22. The auction is on. Her parents are very proud of her.
Yeah, they go, well, we've actually looked at your pictures now.
Yeah, we've looked at some of these pictures taken.
We've
They're
been
quite
slagging
good.
you off. Sounds like we'd never actually looked at any.
Yeah.
But we've looked at them now and realised you're quite talented.
You're quite a talented
You have
photographer.
our blessing.
We accept you as a photographer. That's what she says. And then her sister says, look, I've sold a lot. That is a photo session with yourself. Everybody's happy. Everybody's proud of her. Her Gramps is also proud of her, Grandpa. But she's starting to miss Josh.
Yeah.
And her grandpa says to her, don't give up on this friendship. This friendship has defined you for your entire life. You and Josh are everything together. She bumps into Ty at the auction.
And they're like nice as pie now.
Yeah, they apologise to each other.
He's like, look, we had fun.
Yeah.
It's not to be.
It's not, yeah. They
Merry
both agree.
Christmas.
They're like, yeah, we had some
So
good
he's
time.
not a serial killer anymore. He's
No,
not creepy.
It's fine.
He's just a misunderstood dilf.
Abby calls Fernando because she's trying to track down where Josh is. Fernando originally says, oh, he's on a date. And then she's like, what do you mean he's on a date? And he's like, hold on, I'll just go and check.
No, he says,
Oh.
he says, he's on a date. And then he questions, and he says, either that or he's in Florida with his
Mum and dad, his parents.
parents.
It's not to me, his family live in Florida, apparently.
And she says, what do you mean? And he says, well, he had his nice shirt on, which either means he's with a girl or he's with his parents.
Yeah. And then he's like, I'll go and check. And he comes back, he's like, oh, his backpack's gone. He's definitely in Florida. Okay. Abby goes to leave the auction. Well, she's left the auction at this point. She goes back to the auction because her calendar is not in her car anymore. Shit, she's lost the calendar.
Yep.
It's been sold. Her sister reveals that it's been sold to an anonymous buyer.
Yeah.
That I've written 2 names in brackets here. I've written Josh or Grandpa.
I just assumed Josh.
That he was my first thought. So she goes home. She's devastated. She's lost her family heirloom. She's lost her grandpa's calendar. Day 23. She calls Josh. She leaves him a voicemail. She says, "Can you please come back?" Which is a bit of a selfish thing to do 2 days before Christmas.
Yeah, a little bit.
To leave your family and come back to me, please,
My family.
your friend.
Yeah.
So I thought at this point she went in and pawned her camera, but it turns out
Me too.
because she was in a pawn shop.
I've written sells old camera.
Yeah.
And then I've put no, gets it fixed.
Yeah, so she's found an old camera in her apartment, which we later turns out belongs to Josh.
Yeah.
And she's taken it to get it fixed. So presumably this is what she's doing for Christmas.
It
was really confusing.
It really meant that when she gifted him the camera later, it had zero impact.
Yeah.
Again, it's an easy thing to fix.
Yeah.
Just say, oh, Josh's old camera. Whatever. Yeah. There's loads of ways you could do it.
Agreed. And then we find out who won the photo shoot with Abby. And it turns out the mayor did.
Yeah, and I was still confused at this point because I thought she was going to go, oh, no, I can't do it. I've just sold my camera.
Same. But that's not what happened. It was a very confusing scene. And the mayor says, look, I've won this auction. I've brought a photo shoot with you. There's a caveat. You need to come now.
Yeah.
You need to literally come to my house now because I'm going somewhere.
But the mayor goes, I didn't like your pictures from the tree lighting ceremony.
Yeah.
I went with, he says something like,
we went with somebody else. Yeah, because they'd lost them, hadn't they?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but she did get them sent. I'm sure she says I didn't really like them. But
fair enough. But she's like, I do like some of your artwork pictures that you've done. So come to my house today, do this photo shoot with us. So Abby again thinks this is like Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, it is Christmas, but she thinks it's like she's going to photograph the president or something. So she goes to the mayor's house and she takes some pictures, generic family shots that she's been taking all the way through the film. Nothing special. People in Christmas jumpers having the picture taken. I've written here she wasn't pawning it. She was actually having it fixed. It's an old one. She goes to see her grandpa. She admits to her grandpa, look, I've accidentally sold the advent calendar. And he's like, oh, it's fine. It'll find its way back to us.
Yeah, he's nonplussed.
He's not bothered. He says your grandma always thought it was magic, so it'll probably find its way back to us. Okay. Day 25. It's Christmas Day. The door is on the advent calendar. Oh, no, sorry, I'm wrong. It's day 25, it's Christmas Day. There's a present at the door, which is suspiciously exactly the same size and shape as the Advent calendar. Turns out somebody's left the Advent calendar in a box at the door. The door opens, and inside the door is a snowflake.
Indeed.
And this snowflake makes her realise that every single thing that's happened in this month is related to Josh.
Yeah, and he loves her.
Yeah.
So it's literally, as she touches the snowflake, it's like she's had a mind meld.
Yeah, it has a flash. There's like flashback through the film.
Now get a recap again of the movie, and it's her suddenly realised, oh, Josh said that I looked perfect. Oh my God, he loves me. Like this light bulb has
It's like
lit.
the boots.
Yeah.
We were sitting next to a Christmas tree one day. The boss was dressed as a nutcracker. She only fucking noticed that. He's dressed it all the way through the film. So all the things that had come out of the calendar, she'd also experienced with Josh as well as Ty.
Yeah.
Because it's Christmas. Fuck's sake. These things happen. And then the back opens up.
Yeah.
The back of the Advent calendar drops off. And it says 527 Main Street, 8 p.m.
Yes.
So there's this note inside it. So she goes there. But we don't. There's no hanging around. We go there. 527 Main Street is where this empty shop is, and Josh is there.
Yeah, he's hanging around over the road.
Yeah, Oh, does she go to see her parents? Yeah, no, she goes to see her parents first.
Oh, she does nip to see Grandma. Sorry, you're right.
And her mum says, "Oh, Josh is back in town. He's dropped us some cookies around earlier on," and the grandpa says, "I brought the Advent calendar."
Yeah.
But Josh gave it back to you.
Yeah.
So I brought it for him. He's giving it back to you. She says to him, "Is the calendar magic or not?" And he doesn't answer.
He says magic or fate.
Yeah.
Who's to say?
Who's to say? And then he says, "You're going to be late because it's nearly 8 o'clock." So he knew this meeting was going on. So she meets up with Josh. He's like lurking in the shadows when she gets there. And she says to him, "It's always been you. I've realised now it's always been you. It's always been us." And they have a kiss.
This was all right, actually.
Yeah, it was fine. It was fine. It was a generic ending of this film. It was always going to go here.
But it wasn't as... For the sort of the big I love you scene, I thought it was played...
They played it
wasn't
down
as
slightly,
over the top and cheesy and chintzy as I had expected. And I did
almost
appreciate
like
that, actually.
Yeah, it was almost like they both knew it was coming, so there was no way this wasn't going to end like this. And the big reveal after this is what this end of this film is. She gives him a Christmas present. She's got him this old camera back.
Yeah.
And then he gives her a Christmas present because he's brought her this shop.
Yeah.
Not rented this shop. He's brought this shop.
Yeah. Cash buyer.
Because he says, "You don't read my travel vlog."
Yeah. You're my best friend. You've never even bothered to look at my travel blog.
I've got friends who don't listen to this podcast. It's fine. So, and he says, "I'm a big deal. I'm a big deal in the travel vlog world.
Yeah.
I've got some money behind me."
Kind of a big deal around here.
That's exactly what he says. "I'm a big deal in the travel vlog world. I've got some money behind me and I've decided I'm buying you this shop." So he's brought it.
He says, "We'll go
the
50-50 on the business." Yeah.
She freaks out, basically. They're in the shop at this point. They both say they love each other. And then we cut away, and it's 1 year later.
Yeah.
You've got your head in your hands now. You're this bored.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
They've made this Christmas photography studio.
It's the Magic Calendar Gallery.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Everyone's there. There's a Christmas party going on. There's pictures being taken. People are drinking champagne. It's Christmas. They have another kiss standing in front of the picture of them having the kiss from earlier.
Yeah.
Then the Advent calendar all lights up.
It's in the window, yeah.
It's in the window. And the film ends.
Yeah.
What did you think?
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
I mean, there's a few moments in it where I was like, I kind of like the idea. I'm glad we didn't get something that wasn't totally straight-laced, cheesy, chintzy. It was that,
yeah.
But it had just a little chink of, oh, you are doing something a little bit different with a sort of haunted / charmy advent calendar. But those few moments I liked were few and far between.
Yeah. Can I give you some thoughts on the advent calendar itself?
Yeah, sure.
If the advent calendar is not in this film, everything happens exactly the same.
Oh yeah, totally.
The advent calendar is not making this thing happen.
No.
It's completely pointless.
Isn't it one of those old things where, forgive me, people who are cleverer or know more stuff than I do, where I don't know, say you buy a new car and suddenly you see that car everywhere.
Yeah.
Because you
it's
notice
Christmas.
It's that
Christmas
whole
stuff happens at
principle,
Christmas.
isn't it?
It may be that the advent calendar is telling her what's going to happen during the day, but it is not affecting what is going to happen during the day. Whether she opens that door or not, the same thing's going to happen.
Yeah, so her experiment was pointless.
It was, and the calendar is pointless.
Well,
it has no relevance to this film.
yeah, but for a good 10 to 12 days,
She didn't even open it anyway.
Yeah, it's in the boot of the car. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's proof is there.
And the film's
right?
called The Holiday Calendar, and the calendar is completely unnecessary in this film.
Yeah.
Nothing changes. You don't need it in the film. You can tell the same story without it.
Oh yeah, totally.
And there's many Christmas stories out there that have probably told the same story. It's a gimmick. It's a MacGuffin. It doesn't mean anything.
I'm just fascinated by this this character of Ty. To be honest, that scene in the homeless shelter was so weird. It was just so out of place.
It really was. It was
tonally.
It was
the rest of the
completely
movie.
different to the rest of the film, and it did imply that he was a serial killer. It did, and yeah, I think he was, and I hope he was because it would have made it much
Too
better
much
film.
Dexter, that is.
Yeah,
But there is
Never
definitely a dark undercurrent to those couple of scenes,
Yeah,
and where
there
those homeless guys are, I say this guy is a creep.
Yeah,
That is never mentioned. We shall never speak of this again.
it's pretty bad, isn't it?
For that reason alone, I'm like, that interests me. That's just weird.
Yeah.
That is a weird thing. There also the mistakes you mentioned with like the continuity is bad.
Yeah,
Um,
the acting's not bad. You kind of believe the relationships between the characters,
and they do underplay that big schmaltzy moment at the end.
Yeah, they do completely underplay it, which is fine because
So-
then you get the reveal of he's brought her a shop. He loves.
Yeah,
it.
yeah, because they
So-
want that to be the
That's the big reveal.
thing you take home. I
Which
mean,
you always knew was going to happen because they showed it you 3 times during the film.
it's just odd. It's odd that I know we've said this before, but you know, it's odd that such big continuity mistakes like that and weirdness like that slips in
Yeah,
to you know, what was, I know going back sort of 3 years ago, but a fairly high profile Netflix release.
yeah, I guess so. I guess it would have been.
I mean, yeah, I just find that stuff odd, how that creeps in. And that's what interests me about it. It's not the movie itself, it's some of those choices and me thinking, well, how the hell has that got into this final cut?
Yeah, the movie itself is shit,
It's throwaway.
but it is completely throwaway.
But it's the same as
Every other Netflix Christmas movie.
yeah.
That list we did.
Well,
on
it's
the
a
way,
Hallmark
it's the
movie,
same.
isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It's not meant for people sitting and watching it. It's meant for people doing Christmas stuff while the movie's on in the
Which
background.
is why it recaps itself
So
four times.
At least 4 times.
Yeah.
What is the best thing about this film?
It's Gramps.
Yeah, it is. I'm glad you've said that because it is. He's excellent.
It's just
It's
an
a ridiculous
absolutely
character.
funky dude.
It's a ridiculous piece of casting,
Yeah.
but he's great. He's not in it enough. He needs to be in it more. I want his backstory.
I want his Christmas waistcoat.
I want a prequel where him and the grandma meet and they've got the calendar.
Having
for
like
the-
calendar
'cause-
adventures.
How do these little toys get in the calendar? Different things come out every year.
Also, if she had that calendar for so many years, yeah, what I want to know is, she's not getting boots every day for 20 years.
Exactly,
on the 1st of December.
because
So did the toys generate into something else different
if they'd have
every
explained
year?
that makes the calendar relevant.
Yeah.
If that's what's happening.
Yeah.
But they that is never implied during the film.
Yeah.
That nobody ever says it's manifesting what's going to happen that day.
Sure. So did every December her grandma have like whatever stage she was in their life? You know, this is your fortune for the month.
That's what should be. That's what it should be because then you've got a magical advent calendar.
Yeah.
You've not got a magical advent calendar in this film.
You've got a magical / fortune telling 12 days in this film because we don't see
We don't
what's
see most of it.
in most of it.
Which I'm quite.
And that's what I mean.
pleased with.
There's a kernel of something interesting here.
Yeah.
It's
what you're changing. I want that. Just make
Yeah.
that calendar magical.
do
Make it do something.
You've set this gimmick up.
Yeah.
So let's use it.
Make it do something. Just tell me that the gifts are different every year.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fine. I'm buying it. I'm in it. I'm in. Because how are they getting there? Why is it?
I'm also probably not having her living in that absolute awesome loft penthouse apartment thing.
Which was just above a shop on a high street.
Yeah, because the external was like
it was a doorway between 2 shops.
Yeah.
There was a staircase between 2 shops. You're right.
just put a bit of effort in there.
Put a bit
guys.
of effort in. Come on, Bradley Walsh.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you want to talk stream table?
Yes, please.
I've got it written down here somewhere. Hold on. Let me to read from the bottom.
Yes, please.
Secret Obsession is currently bottom of the stream.
Okay.
Followed by American Mary, then Destruction Las Vegas, A Classic Horror Story, Containment, Arlo the Alligator Boy, Good Time is currently number 2, and What Happened to Monday is still top of the stream.
Okay.
Where does this film go?
I think it's fairly straightforward for me. It's just which side of American Mary does this go?
Oh, okay. So you're not going completely bottom. It's not worse than Secret Obsession.
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't either.
Christmas.
American Mary. There's a film. We're going to compare a Christmas film to American Mary now. That's what we're going to do now. This is happening. This is better. I didn't even think before I spoke then. That's just what you think. Those words just came out of my mouth. I didn't know what I was going to say.
That's just your.
That's my subconscious talking. I think it's true though.
I think that's what I would say, but I'm not sure I could say why.
No, same.
Because American Mary is weird and people get chopped up, and there's a Betty Boop human and a Barbie doll lady, and trying to do weird stuff but fails. But
this is better.
Yeah, I think I had a better time with this.
I think I did. Which seems weird to say, because I was expecting us to put it, if not bottom, but one. But
yeah,
do we need to talk Destruction Las Vegas?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I don't think it's near that.
Yeah.
There then.
That's where it's going. Above
American Mary, below Destruction Las Vegas.
That's seventh out of 9 so far this season.
We're 9 episodes in already. The season's flying by. Do we need to pick next week's film then?
Yes, please.
Is this the last film of the year? It will be, won't it?
Yes, it will be.
Yeah, last film of the year. What would you like to watch for the last film of 2021? We started this podcast in 2019. And next year it's going to be 2022.
Awesome.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Time's crazy. What do you want?
I think comedy. I think we're light on comedy so far.
I think we're light on horror this season. We haven't done like a proper horror film.
No.
We've done a classic horror story, but that doesn't really count. It's not a horror film, is it? But
it would like to be.
It would like to be, but it's not.
Okay.
Despite its name. Let's see what comes up. It has picked a film called The Perfection. Have you ever heard of The Perfection?
I have never heard of it.
No?
No.
What would you like to take a guess on what it is?
Oh, it could be anything. Could be a horror. Oh, it could be anything. This is a one-word title.
Sure, it was
no
two.
Idea.
It's got a vert in it. You would never get it because it's a drama horror music thriller.
Oh, awesome.
Do you want to know the synopsis?
Yeah, I would love to.
When troubled music prodigy Charlotte seeks out Elizabeth, the new star pupil of her former school, the encounter sends both musicians down a sinister path with shocking consequences.
Okay.
6.2 on IMDb.
Not bad.
This randomised. Robin's given us some high numbers this year. I'm just going to look this season. Just going to look through. Stephen Webber's in it. I love Stephen Webber. So you up for that?
Yeah, I am.
Fancy a music horror?
Yeah, I do. Why not?
Why not?
See if it's tuneful.
It's from 2018 again. It's an hour and a half long. Your task over Christmas is to go out and watch The Perfection. And in the meantime, check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd, all at BOTS_podcast. If you want to drop us an email, you can do. Please do. It's bottomofthestream@gmail.com. If you want to go on the website is bottomofthestream.com. On the website, you'll find every episode we've ever recorded. All 5 season stream tables are complete, plus the 6th one is underway.
Correct.
There's all sorts of stuff on there. There's bots winners. There's all sorts. You can get some merch if you want to buy a Bottom of the Stream
gravy boat.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I've got a funny story about gravy boats. Let me quickly talk about it.
I'm on board.
You know the Elton John song, Step Into Christmas?
Yeah.
A girl I work with, there's a lyric in that song where it says, hop aboard the turntable.
Yes.
She thought it said, hop aboard the turkey boat. And she's been singing it all week. And I said to her today, what's a turkey boat? And she went, I imagine it's like a gravy boat dressed as a turkey, made to look like a turkey. And I'm like, it says turntable. And she's like, I've been singing turkey boat my entire life. Hop aboard the turkey boat. And now I can't not hear it.
Brilliant.
It does sound like he says turkey boat. So check it out when you hear it. Where did I get to? Sorry. Patreon. Check us out on Patreon. Patreon.com/bottomofthestream. On there for a couple of quid every month, you will get early access to episodes. You'll get bonus episodes. Nick writes a newsletter every month. And if you come in at the top level, you'll get a wild card. So you can give Robin the week off and you pick what film we watch that particular week. Finally, come and join us in Discord. We have a lot of fun in there. There's all sorts of stuff going on in there all the time. We're going to do some sort of Christmas party or something in there at some point. Come and join us, and the link for the Discord will be at the bottom of the show notes.
Yeah, if you have got a few spare minutes, please consider leaving us a review anywhere that you can review podcasts. That could be Podchaser, Podbean, Apple Podcasts. You can now review them on Spotify.
Can you?
Give them a star rating.
Do that then.
So do that. That will really help us out. Anywhere that you can do that, because it helps get our algorithm in the right direction and puts us in front of people's eyes and ears. Maybe you could do a snow angel review.
What's that?
Just throw yourself on the floor and scrabble around reviewers in the form of a snow angel.
It's not snowing though.
Well,
wait till it does.
It is somewhere.
It probably is.
It's always snowing somewhere.
True. That's true.
Might be where you are listening to this.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Let us know if it's snowing.
Also, we've not... It's dark.
To be fair, we've not looked out the window for 2 hours now. So yeah, do all of that. Go out and watch... What was that film called? The Perfection. And we'll come back next week for... We're not changing any days because Christmas falls quite nicely this year. So The Wave will be back on Monday and the movie show will be back on Thursday. So come back then.
Cheers.
Bye. Merry Christmas.
Ho, 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 ho! Merry Christmas!